Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ ICE English, your favorite channel, and my name is Praveen Mishra, and today we are going to discuss about the monsoon session of the Indian Parliament. Well, to be honest, not just the monsoon session. The monsoon session is just the platform for us to discuss. That is the base for us to discuss. It's about the sessions of the Indian Parliament. Though, we have been watching these sessions like budget session, monsoon session, winter session, but we don't have the exact clarity over this. So this session is for you guys who don't have the clarity over the sessions of the parliament, as well as the devices of the parliamentary proceedings, that what happens inside the parliament, how it happens, how the questions are asked, who asks the questions, what type of the questions, and who is entitled to provide the answers. So this session is absolutely is going to provide you all of these information. So let's go and discuss about the first thing, that is what the sessions of the parliament. So as you can see, the first and the foremost thing that has been mentioned here, India does not have, literally we do not have a fixed parliamentary calendar. There is nothing known as fixed by the constitution, or even by any statute or a law or any kind of a legislation. We do not have a fixed parliamentary calendar. By convention, the parliament meets thrice a year. Remember guys, this is just by convention. Parliament meets for 3 sessions in one single year. The first one is obviously the budget session, that is presided over by the president, or basically introduced by the president and obviously presided by the speaker. So the first session is the budget session, that is the lengthiest session basically, or the longest session, that starts roughly at the end of January and continues till the month of April, as you can see, right? So starts by January end and concludes by end of April. Second one that is presently right now going on, that is the monsoon session, starts roughly between July and mid-July and ends by end of the August, something like that. Nothing fixed, remember. It is not fixed, it is just a convention. It's not done that it is June and August or July and August, or that January to April. This is just by convention. There is no fixture to it. And finally, at the end of the year, we have got the winter session, that starts roughly between November, mid-November to end November and continues till the end of the December. Technically, it ends before the New Year's, right? The actual New Year's, not the financial one. So remember guys, how many sessions a year? 3 sessions a year. It is not a law, it is not anything that is mentioned inside the constitution, it is just a convention. So we have got the longest session, that is the budget session, from January end to April end. The second one that is ongoing, the monsoon session, that is July to August. Dates are not fixed. And then finally we have got the last session of the year, that is the winter session, roughly between November to December, right? And now let's talk about the summoning. Who summons the parliament? Let's come here, start the session and everything. So it is the duty of the Honorable President of India. So remember, what is summoning? First of all, it is the process of calling all members of the parliament to meet. Sending the summon, that is come, let's have the proper proceedings here of the parliament. And now, who is entitled to do that? So it is the President of India, who summons each houses of the parliament, that is both Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha, under Article 85 of the Indian Constitution. What president is empowered here? Under Article 85, to summon all the members of parliament, regardless of their membership is in which house, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, whatever. Parliament means parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So to summon all the members of parliament to come and meet. And here, president has got to just ensure one thing, that the maximum gap between one parliamentary meeting, that is one parliamentary session, and another parliament session should not exceed more than 6 months. Right? It should not exceed how many months? More than 6 months. So technically, it should be twice a year at least. Remember the word, what is mentioned here, cannot be more than 6 months. So it should be at least 2 sessions. At least 2 sessions per year. Right? This is what Constitution has mentioned. And mark the term here once again, at least, minimum. Maximum, if you can have 4, 5, 10, 20, whatever. Constitution is mute on this point. There is nothing mentioned maximum sessions. Even minimum session, it is not mentioned directly. The figure has been given that the maximum gap between the 2 sessions should not exceed 6 months. right? So deriving that, what we have got, that minimum yearly, how many sessions should be there? 2 sessions. Okay, that is minimum. Maximum you can have 3, 4, 400, 4,000, as much as you can. Next, adjournment. What is this? Adjournment is what? When the house work is suspended. So an adjournment suspends the work in a sitting for a specified time, which may be hours, days, or even weeks. Right? So you might have seen those Bollywood movies, right? And in those Bollywood movies, the judges, when there is a courtroom scene, courtroom going on, the courtroom scene is going on. So judge does like this: the court is adjourned, right? So in that very same way, the speaker or the Rajya Sabha chairperson, okay, there's basically the vice president of our country, they do adjourn the sessions. But yes, the sessions, right? Adjournment and adjournment sine die. So what we have got? An adjournment that ends the today's work. That okay, we are at the end of the day and we shall be meeting 4 days later, a week later, 10 days later, 2 weeks later, something like that. Okay, in the very same session. Let's say, for example, budget session is going on and today it is 31st of January and the house has been adjourned. And now at the end of the adjournment, there is an announcement that the next session in the very same budget session that is running between January to April, okay, the next session will be on, let's say, 2 weeks later, basically 14th February. Right? So this is where the example you can keep. So adjournment is where when the adjournment, okay, is coming with the proper time of the next sitting or the next meeting. So this is what is known as adjournment. We have got adjournment sine die as well, when the house is adjourned without providing any further fixed date that we will meet 10 days later, 20 days later, or something like that. So there are two phrases of adjournment, or two connotations of adjournment basically. First one is adjournment, that is adjourned, house is adjourned and we shall be meeting a week later, 2 weeks later, something like that, when the time for the next meeting has been fixed. But then comes in adjournment sine die, where the proceeding for the day has ended, but the speaker or the chairperson has not yet justified when will be meeting next time. Okay, जाओ आज का दिन खत्म हुआ, अगली बार कब आना है व्हाट्सएप कर देंगे, like that. Okay, though it's very casual statement, but actually it doesn't happen like this. Okay, the speaker or the chairperson just says it is adjournment sine die, and when to come back next for the next proceedings, for the next sitting, you will be communicated it. Okay, so that is known as adjournment and adjournment sine die. And remember, the power to summon falls into the hands of the president, but the power to adjourn or adjournment sine die, it falls into the hands of the speaker in case of Lok Sabha and chairperson in case of Rajya Sabha. Then we have got prorogation. Prorogation is ending the particular session, not today's work. Okay, let's say, for example, monsoon session is right now going on. So someone was sent by president that come, it's now the time for the monsoon session. And at the end of the monsoon session, okay, it will be not the speaker or the chairperson who will be ending it. It would be the president of India once again back in action in the name of prorogation. So what is prorogation? Unlike adjournment, prorogation terminates a sitting as well as the session of the house. Okay, so whenever the monsoon session will end, it will end with the prorogation done by whom? Done by the Honorable President of India. Okay, it will be done by whom? By the President of India. So adjournment, speaker and chairperson in case of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, summon president, prorogation, once again president. Okay, and then quorum. What is this? Minimum numbers of members required. Minimum number of members required. This is what is known as quorum. Quorum as in simply what? It is mentioned under Article 100. Right. So basically, for example, you are planning to go on a trip with your friends to XYZ location. So then you plan now that minimum at least on a trip 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, for example, should be there. Then only we will be going with a proper trip, a group trip basically. Right. So minimum you keep the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 as per your convenience. Right. So here is the quorum. How many members should be present at least to start any parliamentary proceedings? So as per Article 100, it should be at least 1/10 of the total members of the House. So let's say, for example, for Lok Sabha, as of now, we have got 545 members. So what is the 1/10? It will be 54.5. Obviously, we can't call 5.5. So we'll have the round figure, that is 55. In that very same way for Rajya Sabha, it is 250 members. Okay. And what is 1/10? So it will be 25. Right. So minimum 25 members, okay, in Rajya Sabha should be present, and minimum 55 members in Lok Sabha should be present in order to start the parliamentary proceeding, and this thing is known as what? This thing is known as simply the quorum. Where it is mentioned under Article 100. Now, we have got the joint session of the parliament as well. Yes, we have got. In case of any deadlock between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha regarding any bill, okay, regarding any particular legislation that is about to be passed. So in case there is any deadlock between the two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, so the president at that time, under Article 108, is entitled or having the authority or power to call for the joint session of both the houses of the parliament, and it should be presided over only and only by the speaker of the Lok Sabha. If there is the speaker, there is absent. Okay, speaker is absent basically. So there is the concept of deputy speaker as well. So deputy speaker will take charge. In case both of them they are absent, then in that case, any other particular member of the parliament coming from Lok Sabha only will be chosen by the president to preside over such a session that is known as the joint session of the parliament. So remember guys, if there is any deadlock, and now you will tell me into the comment section, okay, into the comment section basically, that deadlock, okay, could happen over any bill. But what are those types of bills, okay, over which even if deadlock is there, president cannot call for the joint session? So one example, let me give you, for example, the Constitution Amendment Bill. If there is any kind of a deadlock between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha regarding any constitutional amendment bill, then there could not be any scope of joint session of the parliament. Okay, but yes, there are other bills as well, so you have to give me the names of those other bills into the comment section after you are done watching this session. Okay, so joint session of the parliament, where it is mentioned under Article 108 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, and who is entitled? So it is the president's authority to call for the joint session, and who is going to preside over the session? It will be the speaker of the Lok Sabha. If the speaker is absent, then deputy speaker. If both are absent, then any member from Lok Sabha, okay, chosen by the president. Then we have got the most exciting one, the most interesting one. It is type of a trolling that is known as the lame duck session. It is basically organized for those members of parliament, those who have lost the next general elections to Lok Sabha, or maybe even the other, that is Rajya Sabha. So if it refers to the last session of the existing Lok Sabha after a new Lok Sabha has been elected, specifically for those members of the existing Lok Sabha who could not get re-elected to the new Lok Sabha and are called as lame ducks. आओ आखिरी बार parliament देख लो, अगली बार कम से कम 5 साल बाद ही देखोगे. Come see for the last time this parliament, at least for 5 years in case, right? So this is what? Lame duck session. It is for those people, those who have lost the next general elections to Lok Sabha, okay, could not get re-elected, so they are being called. Come see the building again, see the chairs again. And next, here we got the devices of the parliamentary proceedings. What happens in a day? So we have got the first one, the very first hour. Let's say, for example, parliament starts at, let's say, for example, 10 a.m. So from 10 a.m. to the next hour, that is 11 a.m. This first hour is known as what? The question hour. Remember, hour. That means 1 hour only. So the very first hour of any parliamentary sitting in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, whatever, it is known as what? The question hour. Here, the members of parliament, they ask the questions to the other ministers. Okay, that we have got this concern, you need to address this question. You need to address this doubt. Okay, that is basically known as the question hour. So what is question hour? The first hour of every parliamentary sitting. Okay, where members asks the questions to the ministers. And there are 3 types of questions. What are these 3? Starred questions, unstarred questions, and yes, the short notice questions. Starred questions obviously followed with an asterisk mark as in simply, okay, you need to answer this question orally. Remember, starred question, you might think that, okay, very important question, so might require the written answer. No, starred question means it requires the oral answers only. Okay, whereas we have got the another type of questions as well, that is known as unstarred questions. So what is this unstarred questions? It requires the written answers. Then we have got the short notice questions. Okay, the matters of urgent public importance and some urgent characters, they are considered under this type of questions. Okay, and these are asked by giving a notice of not less than 10 days, and they are to be answered orally as well. So basically only one type of a question is to be given in written. The answer is to be given in written. That is the unstarred questions. Okay. So the starred questions as well as short notice questions, they are to be answered orally only. And what is the notice period given for any question in the short notice questions? So it is 10 days. So starred, unstarred, short notice. Starred, oral, unstarred, and short notice, written. Next, we have got the 0 hour. Immediately at the end of the question hour, the next hour that starts is the 0 hour. So why it is named as 0? Because it starts immediately at the end of the question hour. But when it is going to end, no one knows. It could continue for the whole day as well, right? And this is what is the innovation of the Indian parliamentary system. No other parliament of this globe, except Indian Parliament, has got this particular device that is known as 0 hour. 0 hour, remember, it is only and only available inside the Indian Parliament, and we have only innovated this. Okay, and under this, the members of Parliament can raise matters without any prior notice. Okay, and remember, it starts immediately after the question hour and could last until the whole day. That's it. Okay, so that is why it is named as what? 0 hour. And here, members can raise any questions without any notice. Okay. Then we have got half an hour discussion. Name itself is clear. Half an hour, basically, obviously, 30 minutes. It could be for any particular topic that has been already much debated, but still, okay, there are few members who requires more insights. Okay. Then for them, speaker can allot 3 days in a week. Okay. Let's say Monday to Saturday, the session of the parliament is going on. So Monday, Wednesday or Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, something like that. Speaker can allot 3 days in a week, okay, to have a half an hour discussion on any topic that has been already thoroughly discussed, but there are still few members, those who need some more information, some more insights, some more clarity over those things. Okay, so this is what the half an hour discussion is. Okay, and who can allot it? Only the speaker. And then we have got the short duration discussion. Short duration discussion, it is also known as 2-hour discussion, basically. So it is running for 2 hours. Once again, speaker can allot it, but yes, with a condition. What is the condition here? Not 3 days, but only 2 days in a week. Okay, so what is the difference between half an hour discussion and short duration discussion? First of all, the timing. Half an hour discussion, that is clear, 30 minutes. Short duration discussion, it is clear, 120 minutes, that is basically 2 hours. Half an hour discussion, how many days a week? 3 days a week. Who can allot? Speaker. Okay, short duration discussion, how many days a week? 2 days a week. And who can allot? Once again, speaker. In case of Lok Sabha, speaker. In case of Rajya Sabha, chairperson. Okay, so this is what the short duration discussion. Okay, guys, so this is what we need to discuss here today in our session, or basically the monsoon session of the Indian Parliament. We have discussed the other sessions as well, and I hope this is all clear. And if still there is existing any doubt, please do let us know into the comment section. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And remember, guys, the resolution batch is on for all of us. 1000 plus hours of live classes, access to recorded lectures, along with, the PDFs given to you at the end of the session, that is the class notes, 18 sets of printed books given to you at your doorstep. Okay, you just have to let us know your address and we will courier it to you. So this one particular batch will also consist of the prelims test series, 75 plus tests for prelims, then 15 plus tests for mains, as well as the mock interviews, that is your interview guidance program as well. So remember, the resolution batch that is about to commence from 31st of July. So if you have enrolled, congratulations. If you haven't, guys, please take the decision at the earliest. You have got just 48 hours. So 31st of July, the batches shall start. Remember, okay, and just you need to have a promo code with yourself. What is the promo code? It's PRV Live. Okay, so use the promo code to avail the maximum possible discount. Okay, so as of now, if you apply this promo code, the actual price that you need to pay for the subscription, okay, that will be 34,999 only. All of these 1000 plus hours of live classes, access to recorded lectures, books, notes, interview guidance program, prelims test series, mains test series, everything will be covered under this one subscription only. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for watching the session. It's a very, lovely thing to see you guys live here. Okay, and please stay tuned with the channel and hit the subscribe button and never miss an update from the channel. And you can connect with me on Telegram. Here's the QR code. You can just scan the code and join my Telegram channel, or you can just go to the search bar okay, of Telegram and search with the same, that is PRV Live, and connect with me here. Or else you can also ping me on my Instagram account, that is Praveen Mishra _2107. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope all the doubts have been cleared, and if in case there is still any doubt, please do let me know into the comment section. Okay, guys, bye bye. Good day. Take care. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.